Hi, this is Jeannie with Norna Scraps, and today I'm going to be using an accessory program called Dazzling Reflections software. It's a great program. I love it. It allows me a lot of flexibility because I can make kaleidoscope frames that will go onto my cards or into my scrapbooks pages. I've already selected I've already selected a couple of the images, and this is a very clear program to use. There's on the main menu bar the import picture. I've imported a tulip from Google Images and also a black digital background paper that I have in my stash on my computer hard drive. I'm going to create an Easter egg shaped frame that is found as a free download on the Dazzling Reflections website, and I'm going to start. The first thing I'm going to do is create a cutting file. Because my tulip has a white background, what I would get and make the cut is the tulip shape instead of the egg shape, and I want the egg shape. So I'll click on my egg and I'll double click on my black, and as simple as that, I have an outline. It's not very pretty, but that's okay. It pixel traces well. I'm going to export this to the file, and I'm just going to go with the standard resolution. OK, and I'm going to cut cutting file and save it. I've been playing around. And now I'm going to go to a new file. Again, select the egg. And this is where the magic really happens. And double click on my tulip. And there you have it. Now, let me just show you what would cut if I left it like this. Print preview. And you can see that that's actually kind of pretty, but you can see that there's no egg shape on there. So I need that egg shape for make the cut. That's why I created the black file. What I'm going to do is I'm going to actually go in and zoom back in, and I'm going to arrange my picture. What I want is the little tulips kind of coming from the center. In Dazzling Reflections, you work with this area of your design only. That's the part with the box around it. I'm going to rotate my picture, and I'm going to size it. I'm going to bring it into the center of the egg and probably play just a little bit. It needs to rotate just a little bit more and down. That looks pretty good to me. Bring it up, maybe just slightly smaller. It's a very addicting software, let me tell you. Okay, let's go to my preview. That looks good to me. I'm going to File and export this to a graphic image. Again, I'm going to export it as it stands, just the standard resolution. OK, and I'm going to save it as Kaleidoscope number 4. Yes, I'm overwriting my other one. And now to make the cut software. I've already set up my area as for print and cut because I will print out my pretty pink tulips. And now I need to import my 2 graphic images in order to create a file. So I'm going to go to File, Import, Pixel Trace, scroll to where I've saved my images, and I'm going to select the cutting file, the black eggs. That was simple. Make the cut has already converted it to a cutting file. I'm going to import, select no, and I'm going to select my next file, which will be the tulips. File, Import, Pixel Trace, Tulip, Kaleidoscope 4. Open it. And as you can tell, if I were going to leave it like this, I would get lots of little bits and pieces of those tulips. So I don't want that. What I want is the entire image, the entire background. So I'm going to scroll my alpha up to 255. I'm going to texturize my path, and I'm going to set my threshold at 255 and apply my changes. That gives me the entire background image. And I'm going to import. No. And there's something I want to point out to you. If you can see the red cursor, it was actually sitting before the cut file. So when I imported my tulips, that brought it in in the correct position. But what happens if I have my cursor on this side? Then my cut file will come in to the side of my eggs. And I want my eggs superimposed because I want that egg shape to cut. Let me scroll out. In order to ensure that both files are going to cut correctly, I'm going to select, right click on the background, align and space, align and stack. And you can see my tulips kind of move. That pulls the center upon center of my cut files. Now I'm going to size it down to 4x4. So I select both, hold my shift key, and size. Watching my width and height, I want it to be 4 inches by 4 inches. I'm going to go slightly under, that's fine. Oh, that's exciting. Look how pretty that's going to be. So now I have, and I'm going to print preview. You will not see eggs on the print preview, but you can see your registration marks and it will cut. When you send this to the printer, you keep both files as they are, because you're going to send it in order to have, you need the registration marks around both sections. When you send it to the Zing, you're going to turn off or click on the eye, the tulips, because you don't want those to cut. You want just the egg shape to cut. And I'll show you my finished frame shortly.